Hello, in this tutorial I will try to show you how we can create a presentation by using VISME. Like the presentation created by the pupils of the Δημοτικό Σχολείο Τσικαλαριών to compare the temperatures among the 5 countries participating in the Erasmus Plus Smart project. Let's begin. First, open a browser, write www.visme.com, and we are on the particular page. Before we go on, I have to stress one thing. This particular application is not free to use. As a result, the possibilities offered in the free edition are only for us to create and upload 3 presentations the most. We go on now. Click on Get Started Now in order to be able to create an account on VISME. Add your name, email, and a password to be able to connect. Since I already have an account, I press Login. I connect to my account and I'm transferred to the first page. I see 4 different choices: presentation, infographic, banner, and blank. In order to create my own presentation as I like it. In this tutorial, we are interested in presentation. We have got a lot of choices which mostly belong to the premium edition, so for our purpose now, it is enough to use the blank section in order to achieve our goal. Click on Select and we are transferred to the page where we are going to edit the slides of our presentation. On the top left, we can see the menu where we have a lot of choices, like the canvas size and many more. The one that is essential to us is Back to Dashboard, with which we can go back to the presentations we have already created and edit them again as many times as we like. Next to it, we have the name of our presentation, and with a left click on it, we can choose to write whatever we like. Now, I will type temperature. Next to it is Save, which we can check anytime by clicking on it, and next to it is Autosave with an on-off choice. It is preferable to leave it on so as to save our work on its own in case our browser turns off for any possible reason, and in that way avoid losing our work. In the center we can see 3 choices. Preview, we can see again what we have created, Publish, which will be of use at the end of our project, and Update, in case we want to pay the subscription and have the complete edition of this application. Let's begin now. On the first slide, we have got 2 choices. 2 ready-made texts, the title and the subtitle, With a left click we can write what we want, and also we can move this frame when the arrow turns into a cross and move it wherever we want with a left click pressed continuously, and thus by using the vertical lines place it in the center. Now I will show you how to do text format. After selecting our text, which will reveal the top of the choice banner for a text, we can change the font size, to use bold, italic to add a link, text aligning, font color, and we add a subtitle. And this is how we can edit our text. Following that, I will show you how to add a background image on our slide. So move to the Choices menu on the left, click on the first choice, which is background, and we can see a multitude of background choices. It is advisable to pick a light-colored background so as to be more easy to read. Now we see that the font color we have chosen does not match the background, so we click on it and we pick a color easier to read. This is not the right one either. We can go to Presets or My Palette and pick the color that fits, like this one. So this is the way we do text format. If we want now, we can change the name of the slide and name this one Intro as an introduction, and add one more slide. We have a variety of ready-made slides. We pick the blank one again, and I will show you now how to delete something from VISME. When the arrow becomes a cross, we click on it, and on the top right, we press delete. I will do the same for the subtitle as well. Now I will show you how to add text on a slide after first changing the background. The second choice is text. We see that we have got a list with already edited texts, and further down more choices with more impressive texts, with frames, and we can choose whichever we want. How to make a choice now? Move the mouse to the chosen text, and with a continuously pressed left click, we drag what we want in our slide. I will name this particular slide Sun. Later you will see why I chose this title. I will again change the font, and I will try to place it in the center. The vertical line that appears shows to me that my text is right in the middle of the slide, and I leave it there. Now I will add an image in the slide. The fourth choice is image. We can pick one of the ready-made images or upload one of our own images. We will pick one of the images that this program provides, and we will search using our keyword, which is temperature. We press search, and the images appear relevant to our keyword. Now, if I want to add an image, I can do either by clicking on it, It will appear somewhere in the slide, or drag it. I will pick the second method so as to place it exactly where I want to. After placing our image, we place it where we want, line it up with the lines that appear right now. The image is right at the center of the slide, and now I will show you how to change the size of an image. In the four corners, little circles appear, so we can move the arrow there, and by pulling them, change the size. We see now that both length and width change at the same time, and that I don't have the choice to differentiate the length from the width. If I move to this point up left, where the locker is, I can, by unlocking the locker, unlock the analogies between length and width, and in this way transform my image as I want to. I put the image at the center again. In this way, we can edit the image. If I want to erase it, I click on it and I press delete. I won't do it this time in order to go on to my next slide. Now, in case I want to create a slide with the same style, I move the arrow on the slide right here. I click on settings and I see a menu of settings. I can choose delete, or I can save my slide in my library. To use it in another presentation, I can choose the movement it will have during its transition. I can make it invisible and I can duplicate it. When I use duplicate, it means that I have two slides now. So I will change the name now and write image, and in this slide, which preserves the same background, whereas if I create a new slide, the background is not the same, I will delete this one. We don't need it right now. I will show you now how we can delete the image. Press delete and there it goes. Now I will try to add to my presentation a chart, which is necessary in this particular presentation. Our fourth choice is Charts and Data Widgets. We click on it, the choices are numerous, which most of them belong to the premium edition. We are interested in this option, Charts. By clicking on it, a menu appears with lots of charts options. Such as bar charts, vertical and horizontal, a pie, a circle, a line, and many more, three-dimensional. Now I will show you how to add a chart, a bar chart. I have the point of the preview and the point where I will add my data. So here you can see the countries. I will add Greece and Cyprus. I mark by pressing continuously the left click of my mouse. I press delete for what doesn't interest me, and I can have the temperature at 9 in the morning and at 12 in the afternoon. And to add various degrees of temperature. I will add 12 degrees Celsius in Greece at 9 o'clock, and at 12 o'clock it was 15 degrees. In Cyprus it was 15 in the morning and 18 in the afternoon. So I see the bars appearing in the chart, and by moving the mouse there, I can see all the facts, the time, the country, and the Celsius degrees. The same goes for Cyprus as well. Now, if I want to change the color in the chart, I can choose a different color from here for each temperature. In the caption, we can see that each color and each bar corresponds to what each color and each bar corresponds to in my chart. It is advisable at this point to press Insert the chart so as to add it in my slide, and then I will continue editing. I can see that my chart is in my slide. I can use the same method as with the change of size in an image to drag the corners and change the size of it. I move it in the middle, and if I want to edit it again, I press right click and I click on Settings. What shall we change now? I want to change the chart's title and subtitle. I click on Settings, and at the bottom it says Titles, and there I can pick today's date. November 2016, the 15th, a certain day, for example. And on that particular day of this month, the temperature in Greece was 12 degrees Celsius in the morning and 15 in the afternoon, and in Cyprus it was 15 in the morning and 18 in the afternoon. What other choices do I have here? A nice option of interest to us is the background color, because as we have seen, the chart wasn't clear enough. Transparent is the default option. It doesn't suit me. I click on this box and I pick the color I want for my chart. The most preferable is to use white in order for the charts to look fine. That way we have our chart ready. The movement will show in the preview and when people watch our presentation. So this is how we add a bar chart. Since I need to add one more chart in my slide, it suits me to go to the slide and pick Duplicate. In that way I have one more chart which I can process through Settings, not only changing its structure, but also the type of the chart by visiting the menu and picking a pie or picking the line graph. Which is my option now, and in this case I go to data in order to change my data. I will do it differently. I will add the countries here in its line and I will put the days of the month horizontally. If I don't like one of the columns, I can erase them with a double click. I add my data. And I see how my chart has changed. Now I go to Settings and I can even change the animation of the chart. I have got a lot of choices. I will keep this one. I will also change the title and the subtitle. I will write temperature and I will write November 2016. So in this way you can see the line chart that shows temperatures by day. The countries are visible here. I want to change the colors. I will pick red here. And the other one will be light blue. I never forget to press replace so as to save any changes I make. There is my other chart. What I'd like to show you is the following. To be able to add to my slide ready-made text with a certain frame, well structured. Click on this and delete. I do not need it anymore. And I move to text to pick one of the types of texts there. I will pick this one. I press left click. I drag it to the place I want. And here we have to be cautious. If I pick just one thing and I change its size, only this one thing becomes bigger, and this doesn't fit with the structure of this work. So, if I want to change the size of the whole thing, I move outside while having the left click constantly pressed, and I mark the whole thing, and now you can see that by changing size, the whole work's size changes, and I can process it the way I want to. Here I don't have the option to unlock the locker in order to save it lengthwise and widthwise separately, but this doesn't bother us. I will place it in the middle in the same way as before, and I try to write my text in the different kind of frame it has here. I see here that the word Erasmus didn't fit in this frame, so by moving to the choices in the corners, we can shape it. The text can be shaped lengthwise and widthwise. We change the title. We see again that the title doesn't fit, so we can change again the size and move it in a way that it stays in the middle of this slide. So, I have completed now the editing of my presentation. We press save so as to be sure, and now we will proceed to the part of publishing our project. We go to Publish, and with a left click we see that there are some options. The second option, Private Presentation, is not offered in the free edition. We are not interested in the not public option, since we want our project to be public. So we go for public for all web, which is free. A link appears, which we can copy with a right click and paste it wherever we want, and in that way be able to have access to our presentation anytime. If we want to watch our presentation, we click on View, new window opens, and our presentation is on exactly the way any visitor will be able to watch it. So we are in the navigator, and we see the slides rotate the one after the other. Let's notice that in the charts, if we place the arrow on the spots that we talked about, we can read the specific information. The same goes for the bar charts as well. We also have the full screen option, and by clicking on Escape, we leave the full screen option. So we shut down the preview window, and we are led to check our other publish options. We can embed the address in a certain page. We can also save all the slides in a JPEG form in the premium edition. And we have one more option that may be of interest. We can hide our profile if we don't want to show who has made the presentation. We can add music to the presentation. There are many choices, mostly in the premium edition, and just 5 in the free edition. We pick one, and we can also edit the volume by clicking and writing the preferred one. We can also select if the loop is on or off. We click on, and many more options. Some of them already set on. We don't need to change anything else. We close it, and we are ready to publish after first, of course, copying the link or the address if we want to use embed. Thank you very much. I hope this tutorial proves helpful and enables us and you to watch memorable presentations within the Erasmus framework. Thank you very much.